I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes.
Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Playing channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-in where I look at all my transactions and see where we are for the month of July. I started something new this month. I started using a total at the beginning of the month, and then I just bring it down and I just pay attention once a week to see and make sure that I'm on track for the month. So it's a little bit different than before. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. Let me know your thoughts and comments and that you're new to the channel. I would love to hear from you, and let's have a conversation about things. So yeah, today is the 12th of July. As you can see, we already made a purchase, but this is not going to be included in the weekly check-in. We're checking in from the 5th through the 11th and going over all the transactions. As you can see, I had no spend days, so I thought I was going to, but then we spent yesterday and we'll go over that in a minute. But this is where we are starting from here in the weekly check-in. So on this page, you see I've got 5 weeks literally separated out for 6 categories, and I started with our entire month amount on how much we could spend in each category. I have grocery household, which is what GH stands for, restaurants, miscellaneous, gasoline, copay, and unbudgeted. Unbudgeted is just any amount of money that gets taken out of the buffer of the checking account, because everything you see here is a reflection of the checking account. Now, I do put all our spending on a credit card, but I pay it off every week, so we are good to go there, and that's what these check marks represent. So whatever the balance is here is the ending balance for week 1 is the new beginning balance for week 2, and then I can take these numbers and subtract what I spent and get a new balance. And then at the end, I won't write it out, but I'll divide how many weeks are left and to see where we are as far as how much is available for every week. That way I can keep in mind what we can spend, what we have available to spend for the week. So I am excited to do this. I'm only into week 2, and this is the second week of the weekly check-in. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this turns out. If it keeps working for me, I'll probably keep doing this as I go forward in the next several months. So here is my spending calendar and all my transactions, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start with the pink color, which is the grocery household, and I have several items here that we did spend. Myers is my closest grocery store, so you'll see a lot of transactions from there. Here I was just buying a handful of items from the grocery store. I'm going to double check what I was buying here, but I have my receipt off to the side. And this was my son needed toothpaste, and both of my sons needed toothpaste, so we went in the store and got that. My husband likes these tea bottles to take in his lunch for work, so I always buy extra tea, milk, snacks, and I also got like a gift bag and tissue paper and a greeting card for a sweet little girl's birthday. So I'm really, really excited. I get to see her later this afternoon, and her little party is tomorrow. She turned 4 this week, so it's really, really cool. So that was $56.17 in total between the grocery items and the gift bag items. Next we have Eckert's B and Eckert's M. Okay, so Eckert's B 1818. That is the purchase of blackberries, and all of it was blackberries. So it's you pick your own blackberries kind of thing. And when we go to Eckert's Farm to do an activity like this, we go all out. We spend whatever we want, and we just have a lot of fun, and it's just a day date for me and my husband. So we went and picked blackberries. The sale was buy 1 pound, get buy 1 pound, get the second pound free. So they weigh them on the scales, and then they figure out the math, and we ended up paying $18.18. I usually put them in cakes. I think I might try cupcakes now that I think about it. I haven't done it yet. But we either eat the blackberries or I make it into like a fruit, like a cake, like a yellow cake mix with blackberry on the bottom, and it turns out really good. Just bake it together. I might do that in a cupcake version and just have individual ones. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, and then we spent $20.10. Eckhart's M, that means market. So we bought like something to drink, but my husband needed a bottle of water. It was really hot that day. And so I think he got a lemonade, and we bought this fudge thing, and then we bought some peaches at the market. And they always have apple cider donuts, which is amazing. So we always get that when we go, and it's a treat for us, and we just spend a little extra money to do that. So those are the two things that we did. And normally these are things you would buy at the grocery store if you wanted donuts, if you wanted any of those things. It's just at a marketplace. So I still took it out of grocery household because it was food, grocery kind of thing, but it was a specialty type. So, and I have more disposable income in grocery household than I do any other category, so it made sense to take it out of there. $86.17, these are actually split. I'm going to draw errors here to remind myself. It was one grocery receipt that I actually split. It's the same store. So the grocery part of this $86.17 was just normal grocery items, milk, cucumbers, apples and biscuits, and I bought a case of water to donate to a charity for something that's coming up. And then some plastic and paper disposable stuff, and snacks and salmon and stuff. So that was my grocery run on that day, $86.17. And then the next day I remembered I forgot to get eggs. I forgot to get a couple other items, and then my sons had a request, so that was $38.93. So I went back the next day and got those. So those two grocery items were taken care of. And then Amazon Liquid IV is an automated subscribe and save in the middle of the month. Most of mine, almost all of them, come at the end of the month, but this one comes in the middle, and that was $23.74. And we're good to go get there. And that is all the grocery household. So now I want to take these totals, or these numbers, and total them up and find out how much we spent in grocery household. All right, so this week we spent $200. Let me make sure I have the right number. And we spent $243.29. So originally when I wrote this, I forgot to take the split out, but then I figured it out. I made the changes. So that is the accurate number, $243.29, which is lower than what I spent the previous week, which was over $300. So that was a pretty good week for us. I do have to go back to the store soon because my husband's out of coffee creamer, but you'll see those charges next week. So restaurants is the next thing I go to and start checking off. So my sons ordered their pizza. It was $31.52. And my husband and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and had a date night. Now $65.61. And then we were out and about here for some reason, and it was $22.56 for Taco Bell. And then here, before we went to the farm to pick blackberries and stuff like that, Subway for $20.42. We wanted to make sure we had lunch before we left. So we went to Subway for $20.42, and we wanted to make sure we had lunch before we went to the farm, and because we knew we wouldn't have a place to go eat once we were there, way out in the farm area. So just the snacks that they had there at the, well, they did have a concession stand. I did forget about that, but it wasn't anything that we really wanted, and so we didn't get anything there. So $19.91 was Wendy's. We came back so late in the day that it was already past dinner time, and I didn't have my son's dinners ready. So I went ahead and grabbed them and got them a treat and got them Wendy's, and they really liked that. on Sunday, and then I cooked for me and my husband later in the day. I think we just fixed sandwiches that night because we weren't really that hungry after all the snacking on the blackberries. So there's that. And then last night, today's Friday, so Thursday night, we ordered, or I picked up Chick-fil-A for my sons, $22.12, and then we went out to dinner for $50.25. $10 of that was a tip for the waitress at Casa Fiesta. We did this instead of Friday. We did this on Thursday, mainly because we had a meeting at 5 o'clock, and I typically cook between 4 and 5, 6 o'clock. That's those couple hours there is our dinner cooking and eating time. And I had a 5 p.m. Zoom meeting with our financial advisor and my husband, and so it was just easier to go pick something up, make sure they were taken care of, and still do the Zoom meeting, and then we ate afterwards. So that worked out pretty well last night. So let's go ahead and total these numbers up. Okay, so we did $232.39 for eating out, which was pretty high. You know, I don't know if we're going to have enough money left over at the end of the month to continue the way we are throughout the weeks, but we will see if that is possible. If not, we will have to suffer the consequences for that. So the next thing we have is miscellaneous, and that is over here. So in order to, I forgot to check that off. In order to go out into the fields on the farm, they take you out on a tractor. There's a ticket that you have to buy. It was $9 for 2 tickets. So it went up 50 cents a ticket from last year. It was $8. So that's 2 tickets. So $9 there. So I put that under miscellaneous because it wasn't food. It was just, it was a ticket to an activity. So I figured miscellaneous would be a good place to get that from. And then $9.99 DoorDash. So I signed up for DoorDash Dash Pass, and I did it because when I calculated how often we use it for deliveries out to where I'm at for food, especially the weekly pizza, we still save $20 a month using DoorDash, even though we're paying $9.99. If we didn't have to make that payment, it was over $30. So, you know, I thought that was worth the savings to do because we use it regularly. It's hard to get delivery people out here in a timely manner, but a DoorDash person can just pick it up and go. So it makes it easier for, especially in just on the edge of a rural community like we are in a small town. We're willing to pay the tip and things like that and save money on the fees and stuff that come along with it if you don't use Dash Pass, which we were paying before. This helps saves a little bit of money, and $20 a month is still pretty good. So it was worth it to do the Dash Pass. And I'm going to keep it in miscellaneous until I decide I don't need it anymore, or if I feel like if they raise their prices or something and I don't use it anymore, then, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it in miscellaneous, and maybe later I will make it a bill. We'll see. So $37.04. I wrote these in the wrong order, but that's okay. This is the other half of that Meijer grocery run, but this is actually extra stuff I bought for my little friend who's having a birthday party this weekend. She is such a cutie pie, and I adore her so much. The grocery store I have, Meijer's, is doing a remodel, so they had a huge clearance area, and I just went through and looked for stuff that were her age and fun stuff to have at my house because I have 2 adult sons, not any daughters, and so I don't have girly stuff here for her to play with. So I got crayons, I got watercolor paints, and then I got this bluey activity thing that you can use and it won't like stain your carpets or your furniture or anything like that. You can color and do. And then also I got her a toy that was that it reminds me of those little Polly Pockets where you have those little dolls and those little scenes and stuff like that. But this is My Little Pony and a little travel thing. So these stay at my house and she can play with them when she's here. And that's a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that and I can't wait for her to see them. So I bought those things on clearance and that's $37.04. The crayons and the paints were still like $3.69, $3.99. But I did save quite a bit. I think 50% off on the My Little Pony and the other kit that I bought. So that is what that purchase was about. I was just spending from this little girl, and she's just so cute. I adore her so much, and I can't wait to play with her this weekend. So $9 plus $9.99 plus $37.04, and that gives us $56.03. All right, so that was miscellaneous. We have 2 gas transactions. Oh, I forgot to check these off. Did I forget anything else? No. We have 2 gas transactions. So $48.77 and then $73.03. All right, the set of $48.77 is my husband's Jeep that we fill up maybe once a month or so. And he doesn't drive it as much as he used to because he has a work vehicle and he drives that to work every day. But we helped my parents move into their house, and when they moved into their house, he borrowed a trailer to move furniture in. It was longer than the Jeep. It was so big. And so when he did that, it used a lot of gas in the Jeep, so he had to fill up a lot sooner than I was expecting, and I didn't budget enough for the month because I didn't realize the Jeep would use so much more gas hauling just for the short range that we were hauling to. The storage unit was like on this road, and then not even half a mile away is the house. It was right behind there, and it still took pretty good amount of gas. So it was one of those things I was like, oh, I didn't realize. So I didn't budget enough for the month. I will probably have to borrow out of the copay category to cover the cost. Hopefully there's money left over in the rest of the categories to cover any future gas purchases coming up. So $48.77 plus $73.03 is $121.80 for gas this time around. Okay. All right. This all, like I said before, goes on the credit card, so I will show you the bills after I finish the weekly check-in. So let's move these numbers over to my weekly check-in here. So what I have here is $1,250.96. We spent $243.29. So that is going to leave us a balance of $243.29, $7.67. If I divide that by week 3, 4, and 5, which is 3 weeks, I still have $335. Oh, that's all in the glare. Sorry, $335 a week that I could be spending. So I went from $312 to $335. So it's going to fluctuate depending on the actual cost of what you're spending. So yeah, I am good to go in groceries. I'm not too worried about that. I can definitely keep it in that range unless I have something special I need to buy. The next thing we have is restaurants. We have $435.69 minus the $232.39. That gives us $203.30. That's not a lot for this month, and we're only finishing up week 2. We're not even exactly halfway through the month yet, so we're going to have to figure out where the money's coming from if we overspend in this category. But this is where we're at, $203, and divide that by 3. It's about $67 a week. Almost $68. I prefer $100 a week. Again, a couple of those dinners was a little bit early, but I can see us spending again this weekend. So yeah, I'll probably have to add more. I'll be over in this category before the end of the month, and I'll have to find out where I'm going to get the money for that. All right, so now I have $238.30 for the miscellaneous category, which I have not been spending a lot out of, which is really good. We subtract the 5603, and that gives us 182.27. Now I keep this around $300 or $400. I can't remember. Yeah, $300 for miscellaneous in case clothes, shoes, or something, an item like that needs to be bought. And then if I don't buy any of that, then it could be the buffer of the spending categories, which is fine by me. So that is what we have left, 182.27 for this category. And then gasoline. So I have 135.17 minus the 121.80. That left us $13.37. Not much left for gas, and if we went and filled up again, that would all be used up and then some. So I gotta rewrite this 7 here. Not sure what I wrote. There we go. All right. No copays. We will have copays next week, but not this week. So we still have $75. And then no unbudgeted. We're not doing that because I have very little in the checking account left over to even work or play with. I used to keep quite a bit of money in there. I don't anymore. I've moved all that. So no copays and then no unbudgeted. So I'm just going to put check marks because I've already paid the credit card for all the spending that happened here, which is a good thing. You know, I always want to keep up with that. That zeroes out what we spent for the week, and there is nothing on the credit card. My dad recently did give me the money to put in on the credit card for what we had already spent previously, which is fine. So that's taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and move these numbers over before I forget. I think I forgot last time. 67. But it's good to have a good working knowledge of where you are in each category. This is why cash budgeting works so well, because you would see $200 in cash in an envelope for certain spending. You'd be like, no, I want to wait until the end of the month to spend this because I know I want to go out on this date or this party or whatever, and I want to use the restaurant money for that, you know, that kind of thing, and make sure you have plenty enough for what you need for that activity. If it's just you. Now, if it's a family, then, you know, you kind of have to split it out and figure out how to do what you normally do and where the money's coming from, or not go out and just slow down and wait and cook more at home so that you don't go over budget in the the restaurant category. We already know we're going over in the gas category. That's a given. So that's week 3 setup. We're done with the weekly check-in. I have checked in. I know how much I have estimated per week going forward, and I will have to make tough decisions as we go. So that is that. Now I want to find the total of paying back the credit card. I do this every time. Now that I know all the spending categories, I need to know what bills came out that went to the credit card. And I only had 2. I had YouTube Premium, 5 emails with YouTube, and there's no commercials. So that's what we signed up for there. And then $7.41, and that was HP Instant Ink, so I can print and things like that. So I have that there. I did talk to my son about the YouTube Premium, and he realized that it's more enjoyable to watch what he was watching when it wasn't interrupted by a commercial, and it didn't ruin the mood that he was feeling as he was watching it, which I thought was an interesting insight for him to be aware of as an autistic, that actually made sense to him and things like that. So I thought that was really cool. He's such a sweet guy. All right, these totaled $24.93 plus the $7.41, and that gave us $32.34. And if I take all of these transactions, or not all, well, yeah, all these totals and add them together, then I know what went on the credit card. 121.80 plus the 56.03 plus the 232.39 and the 243.29. All right. So total that needed to go back to the credit card was $685.85. Right there. And I know I've already paid it, so that's good to go, but that is what I put there. And that is where we are at right now. So that is pretty cool. The weekly check-in went smooth and everything was taken care of. And I know exactly what the totals are going forward, and we are good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing, blessed day. Bye.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, deep down.